I'm also going to grab my water. I go into classrooms all of the time.
Katie Gaudette sprints to her next classroom.
I leave my water in every grade level.
Always on the move, working with teachers.
Are there any kids who you need to highlight who have a low accuracy rate?
And students.
Let's look at the word street.
At A.L. Burris Elementary School in Marietta, with one goal in mind: improving literacy. Katie isn't a teacher, she's a literacy coach for teachers.
That U sounds tricky, so I'm going to put my little heart there. I'm here all day, every day. Whenever anybody needs anything, I'm there to help them and support them. And it's not always that I know all the answers, because I don't.
Literacy coaches are typically someone with years of experience in the classroom and extensive training in something called the science of reading. It's a set of evidence-based instruction mandated by Georgia lawmakers in 2023 to address a statewide crisis. By fourth grade, only 1 in 3 students can read proficiently, according to a state assessment.
There had to be a degree of vulnerability to acknowledge that maybe we weren't doing it right before.
To make it right, Grant Rivera took action in his district as Marietta School superintendent, embracing the science of reading early and hiring literacy coaches about 4 years ago. Since then, its literacy rates have soared, widely surpassing almost every district in Georgia. Its third grade reading scores 5 times higher than the state average. The success across all demographics, Black, disabled, and economically disadvantaged students, all saw double-digit gains in proficient literacy rates.
Folks, that's not luck, that's learning.
I think it's very simple in Marietta. Our time and our money are a reflection of what we value. If we say that we value students reaching their fullest reading and writing potential, not just on grade level. There's not a parent in the world who's okay with their kid just sitting at grade level. We want our kids to reach their fullest reading and writing potential, every child.
What vowels do you see?
It's been shocking to us as well, of the level of success that we've seen in the reading that we see happening in the building and the writing, and also math has improved just because of the reading work.
So it has this trickle-down effect.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, the district also hired 37 reading specialists.
All of the words.
The additional staff means classroom ratios are now 1 teacher to no more than 10 students at a time.
That sounds expensive.
Well, it's not cheap, but so too is a child who can't read. That impact to me is far more than anything we could quantify in terms of personnel.
We will listen and we will do.
Scott Johnson is chair of the Georgia Council on Literacy, a task force created by the legislature 2 years ago to improve literacy rates.
If this were not a crisis, every voting member of the General Assembly would not have voted to create this body.
Think for a second.
While implementing the science of reading is the council's focus, Scott believes districts need more help. He's asking lawmakers this session to fund a literacy coach just like Katie for every elementary school in this state.
When you engage in implementing that coaching, that is key to success, and there's no real substitute for it.
The mission is personal to the chairman. His grandson has dyslexia.
My grandson, Luke, was in the car with my wife and I, and kind of unprompted, he said, "Have you ever known a second grader that couldn't read?" And I said, "What, Luke?" And he said, "Have you ever known a second grader that can't read?" "I can't read." And
He said that to you?
he said that to me. I'm not worried about Luke anymore. Because we got resources to take care of him. But if you don't, if you're the mom that is working, coming home, struggling at the kitchen table, it's a different story. And I'm not going to rest until every kid in Georgia gets what he can.
My challenge to you is to use a verb.
A state grappling with improving the foundation to educate children. One district setting a possible example.
Have y'all had a chance to look at your spelling data? I've heard somebody say this, and I've kind of thought I'd like to adopt it of, it's not just my job, it's my hobby. If in my car I'm listening to a podcast about literacy. If I'm at home, I'm reading and looking at research articles whenever I can outside of the building because I feel so passionately about it.
You're living and breathing it.
We are.